Now, young voters could prove to be a critical group in determining the outcome of some key races in North Carolina. The data shows they're turning out in bigger numbers this time. Our Capitol reporter Michael Hyland is digging deeper in Raleigh into what this means for next week's election. Michael.
Yeah, as we've seen at early voting sites like this one, interest and turnout are up overall, but analysts say it's especially up among young people. And with a history of so many close races here in North Carolina, that could be critical. A final push to the polls.
We know that getting out young voters, especially here in North Carolina, is so critical for this election.
During a march in Raleigh Friday, members of a group called the Sunrise Movement highlighted the role young voters could have this year. The group has supported Democrats as they call for solutions to climate change.
This generation feels the burden of what is going wrong in the world, I think.
Simon Rosenberg is with Clean and Prosperous America and has been analyzing youth voter trends. So far, voters 18 to 39 make up a greater share of people taking part in early voting in North Carolina than they did in 2016, just over 25%.
All these young people voting early meant that they could put peer pressure on their friends through social media.
For people under 30, a CBS News YouGov poll shows in North Carolina they're supporting former Vice President Joe Biden over President Donald Trump 62 to 29. In North Carolina, exit polls in 2016 showed them supporting Hillary Clinton over Trump 57 to 35. Andy Jackson analyzes elections for the conservative Civitas Institute. He says the youth turnout numbers so far give a slight advantage to Democrats. He expects turnout overall to be up, but says younger voters could swing some close races.
If we have an election that was as close as, say, the gubernatorial election 4 years ago, where Cooper beat McCrory by about 10,000 votes, that could spell the difference in an election or two.
Jackson says he also expects this to impact local races. For example, some college students who might have voted at school are instead voting at home, so that could change the demographics of who turns out in some communities. Live in Raleigh, Michael Hyland, CBS 17 News.